there is something so vulnerable about singing. I think when you sing, your voice carries a lot of stuff. It carries your pain, it carries your training, it carries your confidence, and most importantly, it carries your truth. And today we have with us a guest who has loaned his voice to millions of people. And tonight is not just about the legacy that he has lived up to or carried on, but tonight is about how to thrive under pressure, reinvent yourself, and keep showing up time and again, no matter how long or how much it takes to create something beautiful. In today's episode of Two Piece in a Pod, we have with us Vijay Yesudas.
Timeless voice.
Yes, a timeless voice.
I gotta drink some water after that intro.
Yeah, please.
Thank you for having me, both
I
of
was
you.
trying to be so professional.
I know. I'm not used to that.
I know. I was like, at the back of my head, I was like, oh my God, he must be making fun of me.
No.
Yeah.
But thank you for that introduction.
Yeah, but like today's conversation is about the human being behind the art. With Vijay Yesudas.
Voice,
Yeah,
behind the art.
like.
And you as a person, of course, Ansha and you have been friends, and then I got to know of you, and I've been fangirling over the years, over your voice, and then suddenly I had to act all normal. Now I'm acting normal. But still, when over the last couple of years, even for me, I've realized that you are more than just your voice,
Yeah.
from the little that I get to see, and I'm sure it's the same for so many other people who see you in whatever little scope too. You have so many dimensions and so many sides.
First, honestly, I have to cut in here. When I met Vijay for the first time, I thought he was such an arrogant
I
person.
was going to open with that.
Yeah, I thought he was such
I
thought he was an arrogant person because we keep running. We used to run into each other in the gym first. Then one time I see him when I was going to Dubai somewhere. We both were on the same flight. And then he was picking up his luggages and I was like, okay then, whatever. And then
So much pressure.
right? Like
Without even a word
right?
spoken.
Oh my God, no, I'm going to come across like a judgy person. But then finally, I mean, he is my co-artist.
First co-artist in a way.
Like ever, because my husband
First
produced
co-singer.
it.
Oh, no.
The only co-singer
Only
ever.
co-singer.
Like ever.
One time hit one. we actually had that when we were in London. When we were in London, one hit wonder.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Dore and Dhanush, D and all of us, we were hanging out in. This is from Mangata.
Mangata, yeah, because I'm so grateful my husband produced a movie and made me do an amazing song with an amazing singer, but it was like, only then I realized how difficult singing is, because I went for recording and Tanya was there with me and with Yuvan, and he said to me, I want more feel. I'm like,
Too much friends around there.
yeah, like I was like, what more feel? Like what more feel? And then he's like, no, more feel. I'm like, oh my God, this is so difficult.
That gets very like nerve-wracking sometimes, because when you're with like say Yuvan, Premji and all these guys,
right? And it's
just like a very
let's
chill
that.
thing, and you want to be chill. You want to have fun, but then you still have to produce something like this, and you got to actually sing.
Let's acknowledge the fact it's you, okay?
No,
yeah,
even me. I mean, like I wasn't there when you recorded, but after that,
it would have been nice though to have like some tips from like such a senior person who's superstar.
Why you would have thought he's
Yuvan, see, Yuvan's the best.
No,
Yuvan, and even like even Ani and all like are the best with that. They make
so
you
kind.
they just make you
Yuvan
at
was
ease.
So kind.
Even like professional like singers like me. I get because it's like the way they work is so chill, and so like Ani and like Yuvan never gave so much pressure as to like, and they just let me do my thing as well. So it was always fun. And so that we had that.
And then cut open. I'm spending like a month vacation with Vijay in London with Vijay and all of us, and I see this version of Vijay, right? And no matter how much we party or what, Vijay will be up. And he'll do what needs to be done. He'll go pick up costumes for his kids because Halloween was around the corner. And
those are standard instructions when I'm abroad.
Yeah, and pick up an espresso coffee machine. And I was like, bro, like
which was never used in the house. I don't remember.
Oh, really? Then maybe
I don't drink coffee, so I think that's one reason. I probably never saw the machine get used much.
But Vijay is an amazing cook too. Maybe like
I remember him sending some
more like breakfasty.
Yeah, I mean, that's good enough. That's good
Yeah,
enough.
I mean, that's thanks to my daughter more.
Do you remember during
especially-
COVID, he'd bake those brownies and
Especially
bring
during
them home?
lockdowns and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
like-
I remember you.
I think
bringing
I've
us a
sent it.
batch.
I think
Yeah,
I've,
you
I've I
brought
can,
it.
so during lockdown, I just like having people around. So during lockdown, when we were all sitting in our own homes, I just thought this was one way to just kind of connect with just friends and just
Yeah,
colleagues and
yeah,
stuff.
it was
So I used to just take my scooter, just go quickly drop off, mask and helmet and
Like,
all these things.
The Vijay has like a whole spectrum to him. He's not just this amazing singer.
Exactly.
Today, actually, the one takeaway I want people to have, all the musicians who are thriving there, the creators, the people who are insecure, and the dreamers, they should have a lot of takeaway from this, because I think Vijay is a very deep person.
Of course.
He has these layers to him. Sometimes he'll send you these motivational forwards, and then after one point in time, when you're in a funk, you do not want to see them anymore. But then Vijay will still keep sending them.
But I was wondering, okay, before we get into anything, when was the first time you actually realized that your voice impacts people or has like
That's
an
a good
effect
one.
on people? Like, do you remember the exact moment or like an incident?
It's a little tough to pinpoint an exact incident, but I think something more recently. A close friend of mine, Vivek. So he just said, "Listen, I want you to just say hi to this person." And he introduced, and he was just talking, "Acheta, I'm like a huge fan of yours." And then after I spoke to him, and I said, "Okay, all the best." So he's come to do some degree or something like that, and then I said all that, and I spoke, and then he called me separately after that. So he was telling me, this friend of mine was telling me, "Listen, so this kid, he's not just simply a fanboy like that. Like, he loves your songs and all that stuff, but one of your interviews where you spoke about these things and you broke down a little bit and all that stuff, he saw that, and this kid was almost, in a way, kind of suicidal." We all have moments like that in our lives, and
Of course. And
so when he said that, I was like, okay. So then your words and then you broke down, kind of opened up his eyes a little bit to the extent where he thought, if a person of his so-called caliber, stature, whatever that he thought, can open up and be like transparent with so many people openly in an interview, maybe I can get out of this, and I can talk to people too and stuff like that. So that kind of
moved mountains in
yeah, I mean, it's more like putting on a big responsibility on yourself as well, right? In a way, so kind of have to be careful, and kind of have to be careful of what you say also.
My mom is a generation where they are huge fans of your dad, right?
Yeah.
And my mom is the one who educated me that in places it's considered his voice is considered the voice of God itself, right? And that's a huge burden, legacy, you can call it however to carry on, especially.
I mean, that's just the way you handle. I mean, it took me a lot of years. And the funny thing is like in the first 4 years of starting, I started in 2000, and like in first 4 years, 2004, by 2004 I had good hits in, Tamil, like Kadal Kondain and Aras and all that stuff. But then Malayalam, it took me about 7-8 years to really break through. And it was just, that's how Malayalam industry is. I mean, they're very tough, especially on Star Kids or, Nepo Kids, if you want to call it.
I'm sure.
But then my dad was never pushy or like, never pushed his thing into like, to get me chances as such, as far as I know. So I
but
just.
why did he not?
I mean, I think one thing, he's very old school in that sense. So when he always said, you work on your craft, and and that's a very old school way of thinking. Nowadays, if you sit like that, you'll end up sitting at home for the most part, but if you sit thinking, oh, I have the talent, let people come to me. You're gonna have to have a balance.
Put yourself out there,
and I'm very bad at that. So so I guess.
I think we're all past that age. I'm not
We,
yet there.
I am, but I still like so for now, it's like I'm doing it in a very quiet way. What maybe like somebody like Arjit Singh did very publicly, stopping playback singing as such, and focusing more on my own creation, music and stuff. I think when I spoke I think during lockdown, when I spoke about it at an interview like this, saying I might cut down doing Malayalam films and all that stuff. I faced a lot of shit for that as well. Excuse my language, but so they are like, who are you to stop Malayalam? It's like, no, but I mean, I want to. It's like my wish. You don't want your voice. It's like that. People react like that in a way. So I mean, it's understandable, but it was not because I didn't want to sing anymore, but it's more so like now, after 20, 25 years of singing in film and playback, then you want to try to create something where you feel, comfortable, and you don't have to wait on somebody in a way.
No, but like your voice is so healing. Like, I'm sure like we all turn to music during our highs, our lows, during moments of doubts and all of that. Imagine like how people would actually, this, I've said this to you 100 times and I made you sing the song a million times. The number of times that I listen to that song, that's like, oh my God.
So many songs, like, Nenjame.
Oh yeah, oh my God, that's like kind of like.
I mean, I think there are songs like Kadal Vaithu, which it took me 5 hours to record that song. It took me
Tell us about that process. Like, how does it take 5 hours to record a song?
Usually.
Which is the most difficult song that you've actually like recorded? Like, it took a lot out of you.
Okay, there's Ayirathil Oruvan, Thai Tindra Manne, which is GV's music, and Selvaraghan's Anna's direction, obviously. That song we started around 10 a.m. and we took a lunch break around 2, and then we went back again around 4 or 3:34, and then we recorded it till about 7. So that took almost a whole day pretty much, because there were so many layers to it and all that. I think other than that though, like even though Kadal Vaithu and maybe Seval Kodi, two contrast of songs, they both took 5 hours.
That's crazy. How come I've known you for this long and I didn't know this about like how this works, like the whole process of recording?
There are songs I finished in 20 minutes. There are songs I finished in an hour.
Like
okay, what's the one that you finished in 20 minutes?
Sean's some really wonderful songs that I've recorded in recent times. One is from Tourist Family, and then there's another song. It's a film name, but it's called Hey Umayal. And we literally finished that song in 20-25 minutes. So that happens sometimes.
What do you feel is like the difference between music then and music now? Like, what is the difference that I'm sure you have like, recorded, like you told me, I've recorded for like 4 hours, 5 hours, now I did 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Happen because music then and now?
No.
Like, what do you feel has changed a lot in music from then to now?
It's just I think our influence of the Western thing, that thing was there, always been there, like even in the 90s and stuff. Only thing that changes is the technology that we've used, but otherwise, music wise, I mean, like what Raja sir did was a lot different. I think from Rahman sir's time and the technology we got, I think it's pretty much the same. So when I recorded for Raja sir, that was like the first recording. And and I've recorded so many songs for him after that as well, and it's still the same, the way his method of recording and his method of composing and giving it to the assistant and the assistant teaching you, it's the same, but like with Ani and all of them, it's so different, so it's nice.
When you record for somebody like a legend like Ilayaraja sir, has there ever been a comparison between your dad and you, or like have they ever told you, has there ever been a moment where...
Many moments.
Tell me one that none of us know, right?
None of you will know.
That's not fair. That's what podcasts are about.
I know. That dies with me, like in a way, but like some detail stuff. But then, so that's the time when, like my dad was already using tablet PCs for like his, his lyrics and stuff. So I had my iPad, not my iPad, like I had my like MacBook Pro, and there's this 15-inch big thing that I used to carry, and I had my lyrics, typed on there. So I started using that, and then I got so much flack from him for that. He's like, so we're sitting in the same, like the console, and we usually sit, sing in the booth usually back then, Prasad Studio and all that. But now, like after a few years, we were singing right there. The mic was put in the same console room, so we're sitting right in front of him. He sees the laptop sitting there in front of the big, this wood stand, and it's like, sort of the lyrics, like with people like him, you don't even, like, you're scared. Out of respect, you're scared to open your mouth and say stuff. That's how you kind of have grown up, right? It was like that. Yeah. Now you're like, okay, you can sit like this in front of a music director, or you can chill with your, colleagues or whatever. But with them, it's different. And then so I was like, those are lyrics. Oh, okay. The paadum same. And I was like, just for lyrics, quick type pandradhukku. Okay. So he like it was a light moment, but then he kind of took a dig at me a little bit.
There's ever been a comparison? Like, have you ever gotten like a lesson? It's like, I can do like your dad.
I no that I, no,
That's
no,
never
funny thing is, I don't think you'll ever hear
Something like that.
something like that from people like
Like
Raja
him.
sir, Rahman
yeah.
sir.
Exactly.
You know, all these people who have
Yeah.
kind of their head on their shoulders.
Yeah, of
They don't
course.
need to take a
Yeah.
dig at you
Yeah,
for
yeah,
such
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But I have heard it from other people where, listen, if I wanted your father's voice, I can call him. I've heard stuff like that too.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I'm like, this is my voice. I mean, I kind of, I
am his
kind of
son.
am his son.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but then I, just let it kind
Yeah,
of slide,
yeah.
and I just done my work. And if they didn't like it, they didn't like it. So. it's-
When did music stop being your father's world and became your world? When did you start embodying it? Or was that always
I think
there?
that was always the case. It's just that obviously that shadow was so big,
Yeah.
and I mean, I still won't, and so I just stopped outrunning it, or trying to outrun it.
That's
That's the
a
best
very
Yeah, I
good
think that's. I
perspective,
think
yeah.
because it's a nice. Rather than thinking of it as some dark cloud that's over you, I
Beautiful
eventually
shade
started realizing it's a nice shade over.
Shade.
Shade over me. That maybe not necessarily he's doing anything to protect me as such, but it's just there as a protective layer. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a beautiful
once you make it on your own, then none of that matters actually. Then they're like, and then it's like now because I have this beard grown and the hair grown a little bit, I look a little more like him. Like I look like my mom, so I'm giving props to her. Because, if like so ideally, when I was obviously like when we're three brothers, my older brother looks ditto like him, especially clean shaved and all that. My younger brother is a mix in a way, but I'm the one who looks kind of more like her. So she she always wants to hold that. Like at least I
so
now with
like me.
this everybody's like, oh, you look so much like your dad, so much like that. Like I'm like, I know why though. I mean, it's like the beard, long
Beard,
beard
yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So
But now that you talk about your brothers, tell me about your childhood. What was life like growing up?
What kind of a
it
kid
wasn't
were
like
you?
I said earlier. Like my dad never like boasted his like name, and he when he goes to the airport and we're behind him, like there's nobody from his office calling and saying sir is coming.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
like that. He just goes, and maybe they'll call the airport like the air like maybe the airline
The guy,
manager,
yeah.
and then. But then the way they take him, and then like when you go without him, type of thing initially, and then I stopped. I thought okay, maybe I'd be able to get that kind of privilege, but you can't, and then I stopped. I kind of deleted all the airlines numbers from my phone, and either I go and I make it on time and I go like normally, like of course you have other privileges that you can take like fast forward and different stuff like that. You just use that, and I use those kind of things and go. But otherwise, if I make it late and if I miss the flight, I miss the flight.
Yeah,
so.
we would know. We would know, Vijay.
You guys know.
So
I
we
mean,
know.
a lot of my friends know about
Yeah.
that. So.
But I'm like, yeah, we would know. Let's just leave it at that. Do you still get nervous before a recording, though?
I do, yeah. I mean, especially with this, like now this new generation, like I'm like, okay, do they think they want, like, are they calling me? Do they want my dad's kind of, still, like I still kind
Are
of,
you serious?
I still kind of
Really?
deal
But
with
you
that.
are Vijay Yesudas.
I mean, it is.
Your
but,
voice could
but
probably
I'm
like...
not sure sometimes. Like there was this other interview that I did, and they're like, you are like so like legendary in so many of our eyes, and I was like, am I? I mean, I was like, I like
That's
asking.
the good thing
I was
about
like, how
you,
could
Vijay.
I was like,
That's
how
the good
could
thing
ask
about
that?
you.
And I was like, because I don't know, I don't feel very
You don't like
legendary.
No, but you are. Like, that's what makes you even more legendary, because I think you got to peel layers, me and the got to
I'm
play
far
layers.
from being a legend. I mean, I'm very
Come
far
on,
from being
Vijay. You don't need to be
No,
so modest.
I think that's something this, like in the last 10 years of something we're using a little too much with almost everybody.
Legend.
The name, I think legends are, my dad, not to say it like in that way, but SPB
But
sir
that's true.
and Chitra ma'am, and like I'm saying singers, and then music directors like Ilayaraja sir, A.R. Rahman, and Ani even like is becoming legendary with the way he's growing and the market he has, but he's a rock star, he's like our rock star,
yeah. Of
like
course.
we have a Michael Jackson type
I
of a
feel
rock
like
star.
he caters to an
thing, but-
entirely different kind of generation, and the
No, I mean, like,
generation grew up on his
to
music.
all of us though, like I love, like I use most of his tracks for when I drive. and like when I work out, and like so it's like all it's I think it's that kind of a trend, and that, that's beautiful too. I mean, you can enjoy that as well. So I mean for me, legend is a big word. I mean, I used to be one of the first people, especially in Kerala in the Malayalam industry, who used to perform like properly, like not just sing and stand and. I used to dance, I used to perform, I used to perform with the choreography and all that stuff. And then like there's this gap where now I'm like singing melodies and like, not all the stuff that I did for Yuvan, like all the, fun songs that I did for Yuvan, and then there was this gap. And then like all that.
But isn't that what
like,
being an artist is about? Like being
you
so
grow,
versatile,
you grow, like but you still wanna go on stage and entertain the crowd with some songs like that, like.
So how do you get through phases like that when
I'm still getting through. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like I wanted to like, it's not that I don't want to sing for music directors and for films. I do. I love that because that's what I grew up on, and that's kind of what my life has been majority of my career. So then now, like when you keep getting similar melody and like good, I mean that's good because that lasts longer maybe in a way, and people remember you for those kind of songs like like Sahara and like or even Nenjame and even Malare for that matter.
Yeah, Malare
and so that's all great, and you're thankful and you're grateful for that, but you still you can't when you do a show, and I've like performed with my dad since I was 7 years old on stage. So I've loved performing, being in front of the crowd, and that's been my like go-to thing like throughout my career. So when getting in front of the crowd, and like in I think Feb, after like almost like a few years, I did a public event for a temple festival in Kerala, and it was like some 50,000 plus people like like walk in and out, and like this whole open ground. So that was like that adrenaline, that feel, and I was like,
energy.
And all these two young singers, backed me up on that show, and this young band that I just started using, they joined me as well, and they saw me like perform and dance and do all these songs, and they're like, "We've never seen you move like this," and I was like, "Yeah, it's been a while, like my knees are not exactly, and like I needed like this other singer who's this male singer." He's a performer as well, and so he started, going along with some of the songs, and he moved. So like that kind of got me going, and so like when you have that kind of support, that kind of like,
Do you think artists are always sensitive, like behind, like to an extent? Are they like a little sensitive because
I think so.
You
I'm
tap
sensitive.
into a lot of
I'm very
emotions.
I get very emotional, and
I don't know. Oh yeah.
My daughter, more. Is like always watches me when we're watching movies together to see if I'm like tearing up.
That tears up.
Tear up is understatement.
Understatement.
Especially like romantic,
eyes
romantic flicks or like like emotional type of films. So I try to avoid those. I try to avoid those kind of films in theaters. I mean, otherwise, I think musicians. I think we tap into that in a way, right? Like kind of like actors do as well.
Sure. Yeah. Especially when you have to sing a song like Nenjame.
Yeah, most of those songs when I sing, Nenjame and a few others, maybe not so much, but there are songs like in this film called Joseph, which Joju has acted in. I've done 3 songs in it, and all 3 are very emotional and intense. That sometimes is important, and I don't really tap into it in real life as such, but sometimes it's just the song and the composition and the lyrics, somewhere it just pulls you in. So.
How do you keep creatively showing up after this many years? I'm sure, like, just to find creativity, sometimes it drains you out, right?
It does. I mean, like honestly, to be very honest, when it gets to this kind of, like this many years, and you have to kind of quiet down a little, you have to wait, and some of the songs that are coming are like, similar maybe, and it's very like, it's not going to be like instant hits maybe. If the movie works, maybe that song, garners more attention, but some of these songs are like emotional and it connects with the people slowly. So you kind of think, okay, this is going to be like that kind of a song. And it'll be there for a long time, but it'll take some time to get to the audience and stuff. So then you're thinking, okay, but then shouldn't I be also doing stuff that reaches the audience quicker, or maybe becomes a big hit or chartbuster? And I've done that. But then you still think, shouldn't I still be doing that, or So you had to kind of that I think I'm in that transitional kind
Right
of
now?
stage in the last few years
Ooh.
where I do have like an NJMA, and I'm like grateful for that. I'm thankful for that. But then you kind of think, I mean, am I like, am I fading off, or is it,
No.
am I fading into something else? So
So how do you creatively show up in a moment like that?
I mean, you show up when you're asked to, like, moments like that, and you record that, and you're done. And then I keep talking to some of my actor friends and singer friends also, but like, take a page out of like Mohanlal sir's attitude towards even a film that, that he's done with. So he says, I'm done. I've shot for that film. I've dubbed for it, and I've done promotions also if needed be, and then I'm done. I have to go on to the next one. I can't, I can't dwell in that and wait for the result and let it choke me or let it suffocate me so much that I can't do the next one type of thing,
Right.
or that it holds me down choosing the next one and stuff like that. So like, I mean, people when they see us, they're like, how come you're not choosing more songs like this? Why? One thing that they don't get is we don't choose songs. Even at my
song
stage in my
chooses
career,
you.
song, music
Yeah.
director, lyricist, not lyricist so much, but maybe maybe at the end, maybe the final say is maybe the producer, whether they want to pay you that much or not.
True.
So in that sense, we don't choose our songs. So the music director, the director, they choose. Then they decide whether it suits the singer. I mean, the singer suits the actor and all the whole situation. So we don't choose our songs.
So,
Yeah, you go on.
then it's just a very silly, simple
yeah.
question.
That's okay,
I want to
silly
know
is-
if you ever, judge your friends or judge anybody for like bad karaoke. You
Or
do,
bad
right?
singing.
You do, right?
You do.
You do.
No, I don't.
You do.
I don't. Bad
that-
karaoke.
what was that?
Bad karaoke. No.
I mean, I think you're allowed to.
I'm bad at karaoke actually.
No.
That's what
No,
I don't do.
The number of times you sang for London cab drivers for us, okay? Shut up.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like that.
Oh,
That's
really
okay.
good.
But even then, like people like D, and like they all like tittuvaanga because I don't get I keep forgetting the lyrics and stuff like that. So generally, I'm not very good. And we play, when we
Yeah,
play,
but that's why
we
they
play
have
what,
the lyrics on
Antakshari
the
and all that.
TV.
I'm the worst at like Antakshari because I don't remember
No
most of these
way.
lyrics. Seriously. Okay, yeah, I can sing, but when you play Antakshari, you need to know the lyrics of the
Lyrics,
song
yeah.
and the tune, yeah. But
Yeah.
like I know, like my songs, my father's songs, like Balu Uncle songs, like
True.
songs I grew up with. I know the background score. I know like where it starts, ends. I
Yeah.
know every tune of every instrument. That's
Right.
different. But when it comes to fun stuff like this, I'm like a little. No judgment though. No.
Yeah.
But what is the
No,
one
because I have
annoying-
friends. I have some very nice guy friends who just have this amazing dhairyam to sit in front of me in the car and sing. Like I have some very good friends like that. Yeah. Yeah.
God.
I'm not judgmental.
that's where we were headed.
So imagine I have to sit and listen to that. When I can listen to that, karaoke is nothing.
Such a self-contradicting thing that was, yeah.
No, but I don't judge them though.
Yeah,
I let them
okay,
sing
sing.
is what I meant.
Okay, yeah.
So
okay.
that's why I was coming back to
It's
that. I
fine,
don't
it's
judge
fine,
them.
it's fine. But what's the one annoying thing that singers go through? There's like an annoying thing that singers go through.
I think Kailash Kher put it very beautifully recently in a I think it was a TED Talk type of a place. So he was invited as a singer or to talk about music as such. He said, so obviously the anchor was, he started talking and then they kind of asked him, like, can you please sing a song? So that's when he said, he's like, I really, really hope and wish that people start thinking a little different about when you invite a singer to talk.
எங்களுக்காக ஒரு ரெண்டு வரி பாடுங்களேன்
Correct.
please.
So, and I'm very appreciative of both of you for not asking me
This
till
is
now.
a podcast, okay?
Exactly.
This ain't an
So-
interview.
Yeah. So then not
But we'll
everybody
never
gets
make you
that.
sing.
No,
All we
I don't
want.
mind.
All we
I
mind.
have no problem.
I don't know.
But then I took when hearing
Yeah,
that.
that's something.
It's just that it's so easy. Like when we get called as a guest to a college, because that's our job.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody's
We-
asking actors to act and show.
That's what he said.
dancers
That's
to
exactly what he
dance.
said.
Oh, yeah.
He said that's exactly what he said also. He said, आप लोग Salman Khan को बुलाएंगे or somebody, you don't ask him to
Act and show, yeah.
act a scene out or
Yeah,
but they do.
makes
People do
sense.
that too
Yeah.
at times. There are
Do
times
they?
when audio launch happens and then maybe an actor is asked to reenact a
Really?
old dialogue. maybe iconic dialogue or something like that. It happens, but I mean, you
But
make
the
the people
singers,
happy
I
sometimes.
think it's always like singing.
Yeah, for
the
me,
song.
like when I go, so they keep, no, you just have to come as a guest. And I was like, yeah, when you ask a singer to come as a guest, you're not calling us there to,
Sing.
just sit and talk about something. You want us to sing, and that's what we're asking,
Yeah.
a certain thing. That always happens. But I mean, it's part of our.
Let's deep
Very
dive
well.
into the more emotional part of being a singer for young artists, young people, anybody dealing with art and like music and stuff like that, right? So people see all the glamorous stuff. You come on, you have a good time. I've always seen the fun side of you, and I do know you're a very deep guy. It's not like I don't know, but what is the part that people don't see, the struggles that people don't see when, like, how does rejection feel? Like, have you ever been rejected?
Yeah, like I said, there are times when, I think it's not. I don't think we call it rejection in our industry because you just have certain incidents that happen where, they're used to listening to that song in that voice and they want, that voice to be there. It happened with Shivaji, where Sahara, the duet version was Udit Narayan and Chinmay, and I sang initially I recorded that. So they wanted Udit Narayan's voice, and so that happened. And then Rahman sir fought kind of for a version of mine to be there in the audio, and that's how the unplugged version of Sahara came out.
How does
But the
that
Unplugged
feel?
has really nice visuals,
Visuals,
so
yeah.
No, there's no visuals for that version.
No, that comes on when
But
he
it comes
sees
in
her, no?
yeah,
Yeah.
only the female portion comes. My voice is never.
In
So
the-
that's one big hole, like a black
How do
hole
you deal
in my
with
career
something
that
like
I've
that?
actually not
Let
had my
go of
voice for Talaivar Silva. I've sung in that. And even Lal Salam, I sang in the Telugu version, but
Yeah.
again, it's
Not in Tamil.
it's not where he sang or where he's featuring in
So
the
how
song.
does you
We're
how do you
manifesting
deal
that for
with
you.
that? Yeah, we are
It's been
manifesting.
long years of manifestation.
Not too long
Maybe
now.
maybe in the next Ani's movie, right? Ani and Nelson, right? They're the ones who are doing it.
Yeah,
Jailer
the
too, yeah.
HK.
No, Jailer 2 and also
No,
there's
what?
one.
The next one after that?
Kamal
the
sir
Kamal
and
sir.
Rajni sir. Yeah, maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
Let's
No, I
put
mean,
it out
the thing
there.
is- the
Let's
thing
put
is,
it out
the
there
thing is
to the
like you
universe.
said, like you asked earlier, music and the whole concept of playback singing and singers singing for actors has changed a whole lot since then,
Yeah.
And in a way, like if you look at Ani, in even business wise, they'd rather just have Ani sing, in the whole
Oh,
album because
yeah.
he's got that market. So like singers like.
But the real, it would be really nice for someone like him to
No,
actually
he has.
say,
I mean, he's given me
Yeah.
like song again like Coco, Kolamar
Yeah.
Kokila, like Gun and Kadal song, and
Yeah.
then, like so there are very.
Oh, please,
you
you've
like,
sung some iconic songs.
Yeah,
in
so no, I
three-
definitely have. So I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's different now the way
Yeah,
they
yeah,
produce
yeah,
films
of
and
course.
compose for films. It's not
Yeah.
the same as like 10, 15 years ago or
So
10
how
years
do
ago.
you deal with that kind of like a black hole? You just said that's a black hole that I can never.
Well, I
so
mean,
how did
that's
you deal?
for singing for Talaivar. That's my
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all-time.
that's the
Even
thing,
Kamal
so-
sir, I've not sung for him like where he's. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'd
So
like
those
for our
are two
listeners
things.
to have a takeaway. How do you deal with something like that?
I mean, it's
Just brush it
something
off
that'll
and move on?
it'll if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And even all the songs that I've recorded till now, and when you come into this kind of thing, because now the exposure, even if you're just not a professional singer, but you just want to sing and you want to get yourself, for people to listen, you have that platform now
Yeah.
with Instagram and all these,
Yeah,
things. It's much more easier than before. Even a new singer who's just starting up and doesn't necessarily have to wait for a music director to give him an opportunity.
Yeah.
He can do a cover, he can do
Yeah,
even his
yeah.
own composition, and maybe it just clicks.
Yeah.
And then he becomes, and like what it took me like 10, 15 years to maybe charge something for a concert. Some of them are charging already in a couple of years, and it's all about followers. It's all about that. It's all about that kind of market, and it's not about
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not about like having songs for like 20 years or
True.
anything of that sort. So you have to kind of, that's something you got to get used to in a way. So.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's something I wanted to discuss with you as well and get your two takes on. Social media, right? Like you said, now it's so easy to be an artist because of social media, which is, and it has two sides. The coin has two sides.
Yeah.
But do you think the advent of social media has made art more performative, or is it a blessing?
like I said earlier, I'm a little old school because of my dad's influence on me and the way what I grew up with. More Raja Sir music and stuff like that. So more like very classic and type of stuff that I grew up with, and then changed over to somebody like Roman Sir as well.
Right.
But more so with Raja Sir, and like for me, like every single song of his, background score, which instrument, what kind of changeover and chords and all these things, like everything is like a blueprint in my head, and I'm not even anything connected to him, like as in like I'm not his son, but I feel like he's one father figure for me, and so I grew up with that.
Right.
So then now what happens is people still go back to classics like that. People still go back to classics of maybe romancers to do covers and all that stuff. And it's fine to initially get yourself out there, but it'll only get you so far in some ways. But even that's changed so much. Like I said, if you succeed in that, there is a song of mine which got me my second Kerala State Award. It's a Mohanlal film, Grandmaster. Deepak Dev is a music composer. And the funniest thing is, my original version is not there on some of the music apps, but there's a cover version that's there on the music apps. And that happens a lot nowadays. I mean, there are a lot of old songs which, for rights issues or whatever issues, that are not there on these apps. So you think, okay, I'm the original singer and the original composer is there, and we're all still alive, and you start thinking like that. But then, I mean, you just take it, and just kind of go.
But how important is consistency in creative career, right? Like, it's not like, what does consistency look like in a creative career? It's not just jamming session with your friends, like, but that's what the culture is.
The culture is that, and the thing with that is also, my followers, if you look at it, you won't call me a legend. If people look at my followers on Instagram, like, but then it's a lot in comparison to maybe other people. But I don't, I've not, like I said, I'm the worst person probably to talk about content creation and stuff like that, because I don't sit and post stuff. I'm not even like in that zone. And like to even get there are photos of mine that I've done photo shoots last year, I've still not posted.
Right.
And it's a problem. Like, if you don't do that, then your algorithm and all these things that matter now, and if it doesn't matter to you, then it's okay, I guess.
Of course.
But then it does, unfortunately and fortunately, kind of transpire to your kind of inquiries as well. Like, are you active on social media? Are people really crazy to go buy tickets and watch your shows? Even
but
I have
I'm
a
not
song.
talking about social media consistency.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I'm very bad at it, as well as when it comes to my own creation stuff.
So do you train every day with your creative stuff?
Not
like, do you get to it like every day? What's your process?
Not
like?
necessarily every day. And this is an interview my dad did in Toronto, and he was like, actually, my riyaz or my practice is all my recordings. So like, I take a page out of that now. Like, I kind of use it to, like, if at all, even my parents now say that, why don't you sit and practice and all that. There were years when they used to tell me that. But like, now I realize what he said was exactly what I was doing maybe in the last 10 years or even before that. Like, every type of recording that you do is a different kind of practice as well.
Practice and consistency must have looked very different growing up for you, because your dad must have done it in a different way.
Every day,
right?
even now. Even now.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
So
even now,
crazy,
he's sitting in the US, he still wakes up and he still practices and he's still...
And it's so different for you, right? Like
I can't get, like, I'll get, if it's just me, my mom and him on a video call, and he'll be sitting on the table and he'll have his book, Kirtana, like Tyagaraja book or whatever, and he'll start, like singing out a new ragam, and he'll start teaching me. And then I'll be like doing something, but then I'll be like, okay. And then now I've like kind of gotten used to, like, he'll sing something and I'll have to sing it back, and I'll be doing something and I'll also sing it back.
Cute.
But then before it was more strict. Before it's like, okay, sit there, I want to teach you something. But now it's like he's there and I'm like here, and then it's like that.
Like second nature.
And then he makes me sing and I sing it back, and he's like, okay. And
So
that's it. No,
cute.
like,
Nice.
good, no compliment, nothing. Just like that.
But I'm sure from you to today's generation, that has changed a lot. Like I said, it's jamming sessions, or just like writing down their lyrics and their thoughts or something like that. What do you think young artists today or singers today should protect at all costs? Because I'm sure you've seen that from your dad, and you've got your own process and everything that happened in between. And have, like, you see younger people like Ani and all of them work.
No,
I'm sure you work with a lot of youngsters.
I think the main thing, I think it's actually naturally, very organically happening with a whole lot of new generational talent, and from Ani to whatever. But like even Anirudh did not become a rock star without a lot of hard work and practicing on his piano and his programming, and he programmed for Rahman sir, like Rahman sir programmed for Ilayaraja sir, Yuvan programmed for Rahman sir, like they all, Haris Jayaraj programmed for Rahman sir and Ilayaraja sir. So like if you look at it, all this, they all came through a lot of, it's like saying like Vijay Yesudas, was an assistant AD, and then he did the small role standing in the back, and so did so many other actors. So like everybody has to go through that, you can go straight into your Instagram and you can become an overnight
So what
sensation,
does somebody like that should protect at all costs?
But your skill and your like core, like skill level, and your, what do you call, in singing or in Carnatic, if you want to take it as sadhana, or just pure like, working on your craft, which is something that my dad always said, if you work on your craft, if you have that talent, and they will come to you for it. The thing is, now you have to just balance it out in a way, like what I said earlier, like you just have to kind of market yourself in a way, put yourself out there that they see you, and they kind of, because everybody has their own space and mind, that they're not going to always keep looking. Sometimes that's how some people are found, but
But what does it take, especially then, right, when there's like public opinion and perception of who you are and stuff like that? How do you protect your state of mind from
staying original? Like I think that's what I was saying. Like all these guys, there's one thing in common. They all had their like originality. Like they had, whether it's all acting, it's all singing, it's all music, but then each of them have, even a newcomer who just did a cover and did his or her own version of my song or an A.R. Rahman song. If it clicked, there must be something in there that must have clicked, which was something original from them. And that's why people immediately relate, and people relate to real, authenticity, like a normal person like me sitting there and singing and is succeeded.
But have you ever gotten kinder with yourself as you aged, right? From the time you started out to now, like how you treated yourself towards fame or opportunities or not getting opportunities. Have you been kinder on yourself?
Not enough, I guess.
Oh no, really?
I'm a little tough. I'm a little tough on myself as far as that is concerned. But at the same time, I know what I'm doing is deep down. I know it's what I want to do, the way I want to do it. So,
But how important is validation for artists today?
I mean, somewhere you got to first be able to tell yourself, okay, you know what? Even though, for example, I've heard about this look for years now, because I'm producing it and I'm trying to get it shot, and in a right way, and at a level that I feel that it should be.
So validation comes from within.
So within, and then
that's the best kind of validation.
Even though I've made people listen to the song and stuff, I'm still tweaking it. But and it's been 5 years, and then I finally found a team that, for pre-production and VFX and all that, that's come out.
That's
come
amazing.
Out. It's kind of getting there
to see it.
So all these things. So I mean, even that, when you get into that, it's not easy. So
but that's something else that's so good about you, that you are multi-passionate, right? You're not just passionate about singing, but you have other interests and other things that you do in your life as well. So tell us a little about that.
Sports is something, I keep telling, I've been asking her for years that, okay, let's play tennis sometime. See, my dad, my older brother was a professional tennis player, until college. So my dad's a crazy tennis fan. And so me and my younger brother, trained in tennis and played. So now my daughter wants to, play tennis, but obviously pickleball is a thing, and
she trains with my coach last time.
Yeah.
Let's do a rapid fire human moment thing.
Oh, you guys have one of those too.
Yeah, we have a couple of them.
Because my normal question, the answer is too long. I think you guys.
You
guys have a lot.
Yeah, that's our team. That's our team. That's our team's job. So let's go. Okay, so you have number 2 today. Have you written down the ones? Okay, the first 3 I'll ask. The last 3 you can ask.
100%.
Okay. The most chaotic moment you've had in a studio.
Oh, when I walked off.
You walked off from a studio?
Okay, twice.
Like if you've gotten annoyed
Twice,
with someone, Vijay, I
yeah.
thought you had like great patience.
No,
like,
I mean I do, but when you
But if somebody could test
my
your
my
patience.
my temper is also not something
which
you
which
wanna-
No,
which
I
music
believe
director?
that.
It's a Malayalam song.
A song you didn't expect people to love, but it became like such a huge hit.
When I recorded it,
Yeah.
Nenjame Nenjame.
You didn't expect it to be so
Like such a big hit in such a way, like it was, I think, kind of in my career, like for me, it was bigger than even Sahara
It
in a
was
way, right?
crazy.
That song played such a
like,
monumental role in my
Yeah.
life.
No, so, I mean, I
literally
was kind
plays
of
on
surprised.
loop, you know?
Yeah.
So Malare is another song like that.
Yeah.
Because Malare, when I
Malade is
recorded
a song when it plays at home, everyone will be like, like you know,
yeah.
summer,
yeah.
eh?
Yeah.
And like it wasn't, Malare was
Crazy.
one of 3 songs that I recorded that day. So I recorded one, I think one Christian devotional, and then I recorded a film song, and then I recorded Malade, and then I recorded another song. So I recorded 4 songs, and this was like the 3rd song, and it was just one, like it just
Then you
went. I
played a
recorded it,
very,
and
yeah.
Rajesh Murugesan, the music director, he's one soft-spoken, subtle. You will not get very like too much expressions from him, like as in reactions from him. We just recorded and it went off. So initially in the jukebox, Malare wasn't there in the Premam jukebox. If you look at it, it's still not. It's only there as a single. In the film, in the film too, like there's a crucial thing, right? And then it comes later when he goes to see her.
Yeah.
It comes just
Yeah,
with my voice.
yeah.
So
It's
that's
crazy.
what
Yeah,
became a
it's
big
just
thing.
the voice echoing.
Yeah.
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 So all that became a craze at that time,
Yeah.
and I didn't know. I'm in Chennai, and I'm like, and I had
Yeah.
Joju
Right.
call me and said like, Viju, do you realize what's happening with your song in this film?
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't know what's
That's
happening. People,
amazing.
because the audio wasn't out, people were video recording it in theaters and posting it on YouTube and stuff.
Oh,
Stuff
how
like that was
amazing
happening.
is that?
So what's the one thing
That's a
singers pretend to understand but they don't? Got to be honest over here. One thing
what?
that singers pretend to understand but they don't. Is there anything like that at
I would
all?
have said the reverse actually.
Oh, really?
Pretend that we don't understand, but we understand.
Okay, go on. Is there something like that?
I mean, like what I said earlier, like this whole thing that no guarantee that our voice is going to be there, type of thing. But I think that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, the most difficult song recorded.
I think Thai Tindramanne from Ayirathil Oruvan, one
Okay.
of the longest time I've taken for a song recording.
Right. Okay. What's your comfort music? Like when no one's around and if you feel like, okay, I just need like a hug, but then the song does it for you.
Oh, okay. So like a particular song.
Yeah.
No, I'm curious.
Udaya from Simran.
Even I love that song.
One
Yeah.
of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And then Nenje from Rakshakan. My
Oh, yeah.
favorite,
Yeah.
all-time
Beautiful
favorites.
song.
Yeah,
It's a
it is beautiful,
song.
yeah.
It's a
Those,
beautiful
I mean,
song.
like I like those kind of. I mean, both are A.R. Rahman songs and
Right.
2 different type of. But again,
Nice.
2. But then musically, I think I don't know if I'll get this wrong, but I think both are Charukeshi, which is his favorite raga.
Oh, that's
A.R.
right.
Rahman's favorite.
Oh.
This is-
Udaya, Udaya, Nenje. Totally
Oh.
don't sound thing, but like sound.
Somehow the same.
I'm seeing you as a singer today. Like
Ah.
not as a friend Vijay. Like look at Charu Casey. Okay.
Finally.
Finally. Yeah.
Yeah, one stint of little bit of
Lit-
music knowledge I have.
Okay, the last one. Do you ever get tired of your own voice?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Us neither. So
Yeah.
we're all
Thank
on
you.
the same
No,
boat.
I actually, I think I sit and listen to my songs more than
Oh, yeah.
anybody in my family, including my kids, including my parents. I think I'm that bridge in my
family, yeah.
where like my dad had my mother, and he had all of us, like as in me and my brothers, completely dedicated and devoted to him as a
Right.
fan
Yeah,
and listeners. And I think my brother is the only one who's kind of in that level for me.
Oh,
Right,
nice.
So
right.
he's my like number one fan in a way in
So
the family.
cute.
Ah.
So cute.
So he's like songs that I have not listened to in a long time. Suddenly he'll say, "Oh, this is such a wonderful song. You
Yeah,
you should do
yeah.
more songs like this."
Like this.
And like again,
So
even to my brother, I'm like,
cute.
I don't choose my songs.
But which song do your kids love of yours?
Of yours.
Very few. I keep pulling their leg. I was like,
But also the generation is why they don't listen to that
I
many
performed
Tamil
in
songs.
YMCA Nandaram for Yuvan like more recently,
Yeah.
right? And that was the first time I had a show of mine like with such a huge crowd. But neither of them have seen me perform like that. till now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's another black hole in my.
Oh, they
I keep
will.
pulling their legs because then Amaya and her friends obviously went for Hip Hop Tamira's concert
Right.
in my Nandanam, and they were like getting tickets and
Right.
making sure that they got there
Right.
early and all that stuff. And I was like, IMC Nandanamla now London மூணு பாட்டு பாடுறேன் யுவன் சாரோட கான்சர்ட்டுக்கு நீங்க வந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும்.
Oh my god.
It's so endearing to hear you talk
Yeah.
about your kids, you know.
Yeah.
And
That's
I want like one word, just one word for
So-
each word that we say.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just going to be one word, all
Okay.
right? Fame,
Overrated.
rejection,
Overrated.
okay?
success.
Needed.
Practice.
Very much necessary.
You should ask.
Love.
Very much necessary.
Don't be boring.
You can't repeat
Let me
Oh, I
answers.
can't say. I can't repeat answers.
Yeah, you're like needed,
Rules எல்லாம்
needed,
சொல்லல
necessary.
correct.
Ah,
Love, huh?
love.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, it's something good.
Easy. All right then. Silence
At times.
at times. Like just when you said for love, like
No,
that.
no, no.
kind of-
Love I'm
like
very
that.
vocal about.
Okay.
Vocal about.
Of course. Of course.
Unintended.
Fatherhood.
Keeps me going.
Music.
Bloodline.
Okay.
Family.
Support.
That's a good one. That's very nice. Yeah.
That
Let's
was
go
amazing.
into a really final segment. To a final segment, what really matters, the emotional healing part of being a singer or an artist. What gives your life meaning outside of music?
I think travel, sports, like I said, like all these things that I do. Like I'm a crazy movie buff. Like I will not watch a Talaivar film in Kerala or any other state but here, like if it's the opening day.
Yeah.
Like I will not watch like a Mamuka or a Laletan film in
Yeah.
here also
Yeah.
because it's like that's the
It
vibe
doesn't
that
make sense.
all those things fill my life. And it's like this friend of mine, like I said, he calls me Yeshudas's adopted alien kunye. Because I go on very little sleep at times and I can sleep
Yeah.
also like 10 hours, but I do like I juggle, I travel up and down and I juggle and do so many things. It's
Right.
like you're not made from like normal human type of thing. So that's kind of where I kind of see life and do things.
Right, but I also think it's very nice and very rare, in fact, that you're so in touch with yourself and with your feelings and how deep you are. And I
A little
think
too overdone
No.
at times.
not at
For
all.
others, not for me. But
Yeah,
I can
no.
handle it. But
Not at
other
all. I think
people
that's
sometimes,
I think that's a very beautiful human trait to have, and the fact
I
that
think-
you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just I like just leaving myself like out there, and then that's me. If you can take it, take it. If not,
Yeah, of course. And I think even with the way we also when we all caught up the other day, I said we would talk about this and I'd bring it up.
Yeah.
Even the way you co-parent, right, with so
Yeah.
much grace, with so much joy, and like there's
Yeah,
so
it
much
took us-
respect right there.
It took us,
yeah, a lot
it took
of
us a
respect.
while. It wasn't easy, and it isn't easy. It's just like you think sometimes, like not in this specific scenario, but you think if couples and even marriages and even if they don't have kids, if couples actually over the years, if they gave themselves that many years to kind of overcome all those, like ego and all these small things and. Maybe they maybe those are the couples who got to those 25 or 30 or 40 or 50 year anniversaries,
Yeah.
Even my parents, I see them, like my mom, like you're talking about Yesudas here, and for Malayalis, they're like, oh, Dasetan and all these things, but I see him getting yelled at from my mom, it's just a normal thing in our house.
Any
right?
household, yeah.
My mom, even though he is like Yesudas is like the voice and all this, when it comes to time, like, can you please come and eat? Type of thing. It's, that's her
Right.
chachano, that's her, like that's whatever
Person, yeah.
person.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
there's no name, there's no legacy there, there's no
Yeah, yeah.
legendary status there. So
If there was like one advice you would give to an artist young artist who's about to give up, what would that be?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, when you're in this industry especially, you really need thick skin, and you will get put down, and you will, and I think one thing that I learned is just stop trying to find kind of the reason or blame on somebody else, and just work with what you have and like within yourself. I mean, I've done it too. Like everybody's done it. Everybody at some point when their career was maybe like little in shambles maybe, but even like like just a little bit of a low down moment, and then you think it's because somebody else has more, somebody else has that, somebody else. I think that's something that even I've done, and then you kind of have to kind of pull back from that. Yeah, and then I think because that only makes you real in that, and not actually make you better in your own type of thing. So.
That's amazing.
If there's a feeling you'd want your voice to leave behind in the world, what would it be?
My dad always signs like God is love.
Right.
Like as an autograph thing. So peace and love is what I sign with my autograph. So I just say peace and love always. So
right.
And that's something I hope my voice, carries through to people.
I'm
That's
sure it already
amazing.
does so.
That was like an amazing 1 hour of sitting down and having a wonderful conversation with you, peeling layers.
Same.
I didn't know so many things that I got to know about you. Saw you as a singer finally today, and it was I hope that was a takeaway for all our listeners and all our audience, that to show up as an artist consistently and authentically as yourself is far more important. To stay true to yourself and definitely have a thick skin in this industry if you're trying to make one, But I hope this 1 hour was an amazing listen for you all, just like how it was for us, and there was a lot of takeaway. And if it cured your anxiety, you can thank us later.
Yeah, I hope that this conversation is just a reminder for you to stay authentic, for you to remember that you don't need to have the loudest voice to be heard really, but just something that comes from your heart. And to just go after your dreams and keep curating the life that you want to live and love forever, no matter how old you get, no matter how young you are. Yeah.
Since this is a podcast and usually not like a usual interview, but I'll leave this is for you and for you.
Okay.
For being such good friends always. And this is for all of you as well. அசைந்தாய் அன்பே அசைந்தேன் அழகாய் ஐயோ தொலைந்தேன் தேவதை கதை கேட்ட போதெல்லாம் நிஜம் என்று நினைக்கவில்லை நேரில் உன்னையே பார்த்த பின்பு நான் நம்பிவிட்டேன் மறுக்கவில்லை அதிகாலை மறைவதெல்லாம் உன்னை பார்த்த கிறக்கத்தில்தான் அந்தி மாலை மறைவதெல்லாம் உன்னை பார்த்த மயக்கத்தில்தான்.
That was
Vijay! That was
amazing. That really invokes your soul from within.
Right? Imagine the number of times it bugged
I hope
him.
your editors will leave that on.
Yeah, they will.
Of course they have to. That's our sign off.
Yeah, that's going to be our
so
sign off.
much.
And thank you so much for being here. And this was Two-Piece in a Pod about being a human behind the art, the voice. And nothing gets more human than Vijay, because you just let him go off and he will go off. And that was a great one. Thank you so much.
Thank you
do
so much.
like, do subscribe, do share. And see you in our next episode.